guys, Jenny with On Fire Fit, and welcome to another episode of High Heel Hallelujah. Today I am talking about one thing that I am seeking that is making all the difference for me, and I hope that you are doing the same. But first, let's look at the shoes. Okay, here is the shoe of the day. This is a pair that my husband got me a long time ago, and they are probably my fanciest shoes because of all the shiny stuff going on. But they are actually, even though they're really tall, they're not hard to walk in because of that platform there. And I chose these because my stepmom gave me a dress yesterday that she didn't like the way it fit her, so she gave it to me, and I feel very blessed to get the hand-me-down that is absolutely gorgeous. So these shoes seem to go along with it, and they sort of coordinate with what I am going to talk about. I'm talking about hidden treasure. These, I don't know, would you call them a hidden treasure? They kind of look right out there, bling bling, but that's okay. We'll talk about it and let's go. I think it's so easy in this world to get caught up in seeking things that seem like a normal good thing to go after, but so often for me, I have found that it has left me feeling like there's got to be more than this. There's got to be more to this life than what it was that I was going after. And I realize that for me, seeking wisdom is the most important thing that I could go after. And my whole thought process over the last few days has revolved around that, and it has been really exciting because it fires you up. Now, let's talk about wisdom really quick, because I think sometimes we think of wisdom as being smart or knowledge, but really wisdom is both the ability to discern what is best and the strength of character to act upon that knowledge. So let's break this down really quick, because I think it's really important. We can have a lot of knowledge, but if we don't act on it, we are not going to find any change going on in our life, or we're not going to be satisfied with what it is that we are going for. So I think a lot of times for me, and I know for a lot of people, it's easy to gain a lot of knowledge and read a lot, listen to a lot. But when we forget that we can't just stop there, we have to actually act on it, that's the clincher, right? But on top of it, wisdom is the ability to discern what is best. So sometimes there are a lot of good things that we can go after, but we have to discern what's the best thing. So a lot of times you're saying no to a lot of things that are not necessarily bad, but they are just keeping you from the one thing that is best. So for me, being a Jesus follower, I don't want to just go after what any human ambition leads to, because that's usually getting more popular or getting more money or that type of thing. And I think that those things are, well, not the popular part. Money can be used for good reasons, but I pray all the time, Lord, I don't want to have more than I need if it's going to take my eyes off of you, because I realize that sometimes there are a lot of distractions that can take us away from the best thing. And sometimes money or being super popular, because then you are feeling more and more and more enticed to please people. It can take you really off of what is best for you. And for me, I have noticed over time the way that God has slowly been working on me. And He's a refining fire. So when we go through fire, when we go through a process, it might not feel good, but we come out a better version of ourselves, closer to the way that we really want to be. And we get closer to God, and we become more like Christ, which is my goal anyway, is to always kind of move in that direction of being more like Him, because He's the epitome of what we need in this life. He came to give us abundant life, but we are not going to get that if we are not willing to go through the fire. We are not willing to be refined, and if we're not willing to use wisdom, which means that sometimes we have to say no to a bunch of things that are good, and obviously a bunch of things that are bad, because we already know that those are things that are going to trigger all of us. We all have our temptations and whatnot, but what is the best thing? And here's where I want to challenge you, because currently, as I'm filming this, I don't know when you'll be watching this, but we're in the month of October, and a lot of times the people that I coach or my patients feel like they're at this point where we're going into the holidays, and I think I'll just restart getting healthy come January 1st. There's something that goes on in your brain that just says, I'm going to take this off of my front burner, put it on the back burner, and just not worry about it, because Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming, so I'm just going to start over in January. However, the problem is that is 3 months of a year. That is a big chunk of your life to give up every single year and not choose wisdom and not choose to act on the knowledge that you have. Let this be the year that you don't use this time as just a free-for-all. I think we have to be careful not to get overly rigid too, but I do think that we make a lot of excuses, and then we think that starting January 1st, we're going to be super motivated. And if you've noticed in your own life, it really doesn't last. When you put off till tomorrow, till 3 months from now, what you know you need to do now, it does not get easier. It might be easy the first week because you're so gung-ho, but you fall off really quickly. The real challenge is to do the hard thing when it's hard. And then on the other end of it, once you've made that decision and you've followed through on it, it is super empowering. But I believe that for me, and I hope for you, calling on God for wisdom it's like the key that opens the lock. It is what we need, because we need discernment. We need to always be connected to Him who's our vine, and we have that ability then to know what is best and to do it, to act on it. If you have any lack of wisdom, I would highly suggest that you go to the book of Proverbs. You can just read 1 Proverbs a day. You can read a couple phrases out of that book. It has so much wisdom that will get you inspired and remind you what you need to do and how to keep moving forward. So my challenge for you is to choose wisdom. First, I always ask God, what is the best thing that I can be spending my time on right now? I always try to pay attention to what are the things that are making me distracted, and help me to, and I always pray that God would help me set boundaries so that those distractions will not make me lose the ability to act in wisdom. But in that process of asking for that, come up with 3 things that you can do every day. They can be tiny, but that will move you towards that best thing, the best thing for you. Right now, my current thing is I want to complete writing my program for health that I have been working on. Now it's written, but I need to edit it. And I I have resisted for whatever reason for too long. I do it a little bit and then I kind of get like, oh, does this even make sense? And so then I start to doubt myself, and then I let other distractions get in the way, and I kind of keep putting it off. What by the end of this year will make me feel, yeah, I did it? Like, what is it going to be? Because you're going to carry that into 2020. You're going to carry that into the new year if you start now. And so for me, I am dedicating 30 minutes Monday through Friday to working on editing. Now, it usually ends up being more time than that once I get into the flow of it. But when I know that it's only 30 minutes, it makes it more doable and it doesn't feel so intimidating to me. My three things are: I am calling on God to give me discernment and wisdom before I sit down and do my editing, because he's going to guide me. My second thing is to actually do it, set the time and actually sit and do it. And the third thing that I am focusing on is realizing what my distractions are and keeping boundaries up. So one of the things that I try to do is set a time limit on my phone for how long I'm able to access stuff. So at 8 p.m., it just automatically shuts down, and I don't need to be distracted by it anymore because I'm done with my work for the day, and now I can go into unwinding mode. So for me, those are the three things. But I would encourage you, if you have one thing that you just know by the end of this year, I will feel so much better if I do it. What is that thing? And if you can come up with three little things, whether it's just drinking enough water, getting rid of sugar. I know you can live without sugar on Halloween. And I'm guessing you're not trick-or-treating anymore, so you're fine. And then Thanksgiving, give yourself that day to enjoy. Give yourself Christmas Day or whatever. But you don't need to make that be a 3-month free-for-all. And what three things? Maybe take a walk and pray. I try to do that each day, and it really sets my mind up for just the most fantastic day. So what are three things that you can do? Choose wisdom. Choose to do the thing that will lead you to a better, positive life. Sometimes money comes with that, and sometimes it's a detriment to people because they get it and then they don't handle it well. So choose wisdom. For me, if things happen like that to me, I just pray that I would be prepared and be wise about it. And if not, then that's fine, because really my goal is to serve God and to help people. The money may or may not be necessary for that. So that's up to God. But for me, wisdom is the number one, because when you have wisdom, you don't have regrets, you choose well, you go to sleep at night feeling good, you help people, and you know that you're serving a good purpose in this world. And so all of those things tell me that wisdom is the best choice to make. And you will find if you search after other things, you might feel empty at the end. And so just remember what I said, choose wisdom. And if you need any specific help, I would love to hear from you. But thank you so much for being with me today. And I hope that you are living every day on fire.
And here is the walk in the shoes. I do realize that high heels and wisdom seem like an odd dichotomy, but I love dichotomies, so we're going to go with it. All right, thanks for watching.